All right, y'all. It is April 2nd, 2025, and things have turned way worse now from what we seen yesterday. Now, as you can see on your screen right now, there is a high risk of severe weather, mainly tornadoes. This is a tornado-driven high risk. This is I wasn't expecting this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't expecting a high risk out of this. I was honestly expecting them to expand the moderate risk in some areas, but they wound up pulling the trigger and issuing a high risk, which is a level 5 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. This is major, y'all. This is not a good thing at all. This is not a good situation. This is a very, very volatile situation, dangerous situation ongoing right now. And I'm gonna get this video up before I set up my stream and stuff, because we will be live 100% today. Mason will be with me. Like I said, he's gonna be with me for this, and we're gonna be covering this area because oh boy, this is not looking good. But you can see right there, there is a high risk of significant severe weather for areas. All right, I'm going to talk about the specific parts of these states. So almost all of eastern Arkansas you guys are in the high risk area, or at least in the moderate to high risk area. All of western Tennessee, you're in the high risk area, at least extreme western portions of Tennessee. Memphis, you're in that. Extreme northwestern portions of Mississippi, western Kentucky, or extreme western Kentucky, I guess you can say, extreme southern Illinois, extreme southeast Missouri. The areas that got hit by the high risk outbreak a couple weeks ago are in the same areas again for another high risk of severe weather. And it's just not a good thing at all. This is a very, very volatile situation, like I said. This includes Memphis, Tennessee, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Bartlett in Tennessee, South Haven, Mississippi. You also have Poplar Bluff, Missouri, that's also in that high risk as well, I'm pretty sure, too. So I didn't want to forget about you guys because you guys got hit by an EF3 tornado a couple weeks ago. So some of the same areas that got hit by that historic tornado outbreak that happened a couple weeks ago are going to get hit again today. And I just want to get this word out to as many people as possible and let them know. And not even the high risk. The moderate risk area is also very, very important as well. This moderate risk stretches from basically Indianapolis all the way as far south as near Shreveport, Louisiana. And that is an area that we have to watch as well for potentially long track and very strong tornadoes to happen today, especially in the high risk area. I mean, if you look at the tornado chances, these are the tornado risk factors right here. And I mean, you have a 30% hatched area of significant tornadoes in 25 miles of a given point. Same thing with the red area, 15% area of significant tornadoes, EF2 plus, or according to the Storm Prediction Center now, EF3 plus is what they're expecting from this tornadoes in 25 miles of a given point. So this is definitely major. And even in a 10% hatched area, we've seen what happened yesterday. There weren't as many tornadoes yesterday, but when there were big time tornadoes that happened yesterday. We had a PDS warning yesterday. This today could be 10 times worse. Okay, so I'm gonna point that out now. I'm not saying this to scare you guys. I'm saying this to just let you guys know what's happening out there and what's going on with this and how I think this is going to be. But we do have a very large area of a significant tornado threat today. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of long track and potentially violent tornadoes in some areas today. If you look at the Storm Prediction Center, a tornado outbreak is expected this afternoon to the early tonight from parts of the lower Mississippi Valley into the mid-south and lower Ohio Valley. Numerous tornadoes, along with multiple EF3 plus tornadoes appear likely. In addition, tornadoes, significant severe wind gusts, and very large hail actually, will be possible across a broad area from North Texas, northeastward to the southern Great Lakes. So they are expecting numerous tornadoes and numerous strong tornadoes at that. Maybe even potentially violent tornadoes. Right? I know that's big wording. Yes, that's big wording, but I mean it's possible now at this point. I mean, just I'm not saying this, like I said, I'm not saying this to scare anything. I'm not saying anything to hype this up. This is what the Storm Prediction Center is saying. This is what they think that's going to happen, and I just want to get this word out to you guys and let you know that this is the real deal. They did put out a 45 sig area for significant straight line damaging winds or hurricane force winds as well. And I ain't gonna lie, I was expecting that as well. So you have a big time damaging wind threat. You may even see possibly a derecho depending on how this is. I'm gonna show you guys this in a moment, but it's showing a huge line of storms coming through. So I wouldn't be surprised if this gets classified as a derecho as well, possibly, depending on how this mode works. It can either be supercellular modes or it could be a huge line of storms. Either or, it's very, very dangerous. Need to keep an eye on this. And your hail risk is humongous, by the way. It stretches from all the way into Texas. That includes Dallas and all the way up to like Indianapolis and almost towards Fort Wayne, Indiana, is your 30% hatched area. That's a large area. Like I said, it's a very large area, and all hazards is likely today, including flash flooding. All right, so this is your HRRR model, or the high resolution rapid refresh model, and we are going to just show you guys what the storm mode could possibly look like this afternoon into this evening. So let's fast forward this through, and as you can see, you have your storms firing up over here, and honestly, it looks quite similar to what is happening right now. So the HRRR is doing pretty good with it, and you keep pushing this through. I mean, you see these right here? These needs to be watched very, very carefully. Okay, any single storms that pop up by themselves in front of the main line has the opportunity to produce a very long track and potentially large tornado that can go on for miles. Okay, it's a possibility. This is around 3 p.m. You already have supercells. Look at this. You have supercell thunderstorms in Indiana and Ohio. That needs to be watched carefully. I mean, the environment up here is prime for tornadoes as well. If I were to take a sounding for this, you will see, yes, there's a curved totograph, a curved storm slinky. Your hazard is tornado. Honestly, it's at 73 degrees right here. Your winds are going to be varying with height, as you can see, and then you have 64 or 65 degree dew points in some areas in Ohio and Indiana. So the environment up here is prime for tornadoes as well. So we have to take notice as far north as, like I said, Indiana and stuff like that. You keep pushing this through, I mean, you're still gonna have supercells. Then your line starts to get a lot more potent, and it starts to break up a little bit more too. Like I said, you still have some storms popping up in front of the main line that needs to be watched carefully. And you keep fast forwarding this. Now you're seeing a huge straight line damaging wind threat. Now this is why I'm a little questionable about why they pulled the trigger on the high risk, but at the same time, I know why they pulled the trigger on the high risk. I mean, this is a very, very potent line of storms that could definitely have embedded supercells to produce strong tornadoes that inside the line. You don't have to have supercell thunderstorms to produce a very strong tornado sometimes. Even though most of the time your strongest tornadoes happens by supercell thunderstorms, you could get a EF4 tornado in a QLCS. I mean, I've seen it before. It happened in, I think, South Carolina. It's happened before. An EF4 tornado happened in a QLCS squall line or a line of storms that happened. So it's possible. And you keep pushing this through. I mean, this is still a beefy line of storms, and you still have back end storms from behind it. This is the next day now, so it's not going to be, as prime as an environment for significant tornadoes. But the peak timing for the outbreak, I'm probably going to be live maybe around 3 or 4 p.m. I'm probably going to start the live stream, and I'm probably going to go all the way until maybe 10 p.m., 10 or 11 p.m. because I do have school tomorrow, so I can't be long. I can't be long at all. But or I can be long. I can go for a while. So I can go for a little while here and be live for a little while because I mean this is going to be a very, very dangerous situation that's going to be unfolding here. But I mean, jeez, man, this is not looking good. This is your lower level jet stream, and you can see your lower level jet stream starts to pick up around 4 or 5 p.m. I mean, it starts to intensify a whole lot more. This is why your winds are moving northeast or northeast, I guess you could say. As you push this through, and like I said, your winds are going to be varying with height because if you were to check the 500 millibar winds, give it a second for it to load. Boom, these are your 500 millibar winds, and they're moving a different direction. They're moving northeast instead of northeast. So your winds are going to be varying with height in some spots over here. So we got to watch this very carefully. This is your significant tornado parameter, and I mean, it starts to spike up a whole lot more. Then it starts to spike up a little bit more once you get into like the evening hours and stuff. Now, the significant tornado parameter is not as potent down here from what it was looking like earlier, but up here in this area where the supercells popped up at, there is definitely a bigger area, a more concerning area of significant tornado parameter values popping up over here between the states of Indiana and Ohio. And I mean, you can see that you keep pushing this through, your significant tornado parameter starts to spike up a whole lot more. You see the storms are eating up all that energy, and you keep pushing this, and it's going to stick with us for a little while now too. I mean, look at the next couple of days. There could be some very, very strong storms that can go on for a very long time. That's going to create your flash flooding risk too. Like I said, there's a high risk of flash flooding in the same areas, by the way, in the same areas that are in the high risk for tornadoes today. Your dew points this is around 4 p.m. They're going to go as far north as Illinois into the mid to upper 60s more than likely. And it's probably going to stay like that for a little while. So that's another reason why they pulled the trigger for the high risk, because you're going to have moisture, you're going to have your wind shear, you're going to have basically everything you need for a tornado outbreak to happen. So like I said, any storms that pop in front of the main line of storms, are going to be the ones we have to watch carefully, because those are the ones that more than likely will produce a strong and potentially long track tornado today. So we got to keep this in mind, y'all. This is it's a pretty dangerous day, pretty dangerous event, and we need to take this as seriously as possible, because this is not what you want to see. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a high risk, but here we go here now. There's a high risk of severe weather, and it's tornado driven, and we're definitely going to see numerous tornadoes today, in some of these areas, in the Tennessee Valley area, or not Tennessee Valley, the Western Tennessee, Western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, Southern Illinois, northern Arkansas, and a little bit of extreme northwestern Mississippi as well. This is all I have for you guys today. Like I said, it's not going to be a super long video, but this is just to tell you what's going to, happen in the future. And just by the looks of it, it's going to be a pretty active day. I mean, you can see the next couple of days. They look very, very concerning. You're going to have training thunderstorms, training rain. I mean, it's going to be fairly significant, y'all. I just want to get that out now, and I just really need people to take these storms seriously, because we definitely could have a major tornado outbreak today. If these storms do fire up the way the ARRR has shown it to fire up in a lot of areas. And just by looking at the ARRR 48-hour run from the 12Z, there is even a more concerning look, I would say, on the next couple of days here of flash flooding. Flash flooding is going to be a huge, huge thing, by the way, as well, too. I should have showed you guys the high risk area, which I'm probably going to put it up on the screen for you guys. But it's a big area, and we need to watch that carefully. It's going to be multiple days of significant, maybe catastrophic flash flooding in a lot of areas, so we got to take that very seriously as well too. But thank you guys for watching this video. I'm gonna have the live stream up here in just a moment, so just stay tuned on this channel, stay weather aware, just be ready for any type of severe weather in your area if you're under the gun for the high risk or moderate risk or even the enhanced risk area today. Okay, all those areas need to be watched carefully, because they could produce long track and potentially strong tornadoes as well. So we gotta take these storms seriously today. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys until next time. Peace out.